So this is Coach Brody going over this video of me and a friend of mine, Sean Perry, and we were just going over some light sparring. I believe I was his first boxing coach. He's a Golden Gloves winner now, and I'm an undefeated amateur boxer. And we were just doing some light sparring because a lot of people don't know how to light spar. We both competed, we both won matches, and we both been in some gym wars. So we were just having like a private coaching session, and when we were having a private coaching session, I just wanted to go over some different techniques. So we didn't have a conversation about what those techniques were ahead of time. I just wanted to go over a few things. So one thing I'm working on right now is just different ways of dealing with the peekaboo style, because he models the style after Mike Tyson. So one thing I wanted to do was just show a variety of different ways of blocking and using control to deal with a more athletic style. Also ways of using feints to misdirect and throw punches in different directions. So doing things this particular way, there's some different things that came along with it. So we weren't trying to hit each other full force, but we were trying to tap each other with the punches. But you can throw punches with a certain level of speed, not full speed, but you can throw them at most speed without hitting somebody hard. Right? That's something that you can do, because we didn't have headgear, we didn't have any mouthpieces, we were just out there. So one thing that I was doing is just sticking out the left hand, showing that you can show the hand one place and then you can put it out other places, alternating between a long guard and a Philly shell, and just alternate between those different things. See, that's control right there. Where the head gets over to one side, there's different things you can do with it. And just having an active lead hand. An active lead hand, and then also being able to come back behind with some unexpected right hands. And one thing that I'm a big fan of is, you can use that jab, use the way that you're throwing that jab in ways that can set you up to throw the jab up top. Then you can throw the jab down low, and then you can use wherever it looks like you're throwing the jab as a feint to throw the jab somewhere else. So this is just some lessons on things that can help with street boxing, which is, I'm street boxing coach, Coach Brody. Another thing that some people may not see is just using that right hand. If you miss the right hand, you can use the right hand for control. If you miss a punch, you can, use that to frame. Frame is something that's important. It's controlling the context. Now, one thing I really like about his style is that, just the way he's built, he has this ability to really protect himself, because his neck is not that long and his shoulders are pretty big. So he's able to protect himself with his shoulders, even if he doesn't bring his hands back all the way sometimes. So there's just different ways I had to try to get around it. But one thing I did want to really push when we were doing this particular training session was that I know for me personally, when I see people do the peekaboo style, a lot of the times it's one of those things to where that slipping inside constantly is something that can set you up to get led straight on for some right hands, and he did pretty decent about not getting hit with those that much. Because I kind of like, for fighters that I'm working with, to mostly pick a side that you're going to slip to, and then to go under or move out the way of the other side. At this point in time, I stepped into more of a George Foreman style for a little while. But I do mostly like that long guard perspective. I think some of that I get from Andre Ward. Jab to the body, fake the jab to the body, come up top with the left hook. Different things that go on. Squaring up at different times, and just different ways that you can use your hand, your lead hand, let it be active, let it be flowing. That right there is more of a fencing jab. And I don't always keep my hands very high. Now, you saw that I waited for him to take that stance where he would try to slip around and be too close. Now, sometimes I'll just flick the jab out there. Now, you see that right there. When you catch somebody being too active with their movement, You wait until they come back around. And one thing I heavily emphasize, if a person has too much of a rhythmic style, is you have to be able to break rhythm.